Yeah, it's right around 3:30 p.m. on Friday, April 26th, and there's still no heat in here in spite of the fact that I've left two voicemails, two emails for the Greenville group over the last 2 days to let them know that there's absolutely no heat in here and temperatures have been in the 30s at night. They have not turned the heat back on in this unit, so I'm going to ask them to send maintenance up here. This is a serious code violation when there's no heat and it's below 50 outside. Units tend to get pretty cold in the absence of any kind of heat. And the baseboard pipes are ice cold. It's not like there's a little bit of heat, there's no warmth. And that's why there's rodents in this unit, because the rodents like to run along the baseboard pipes when they're cold to get from one unit to the next. What is going on here? I have to.
At any time. For rentals, press 1. For maintenance, press 2. If you're interested in selling a property, press 3. For the office directory, press 4 or press 0 for the front desk. After the tone, please leave a detailed message with your name and number so we may get back to you when we return.
Hi there. It's right around 3:30 p.m. on Friday, April 26, 2024. This is a second voicemail that I'm leaving for Greenville office today regarding an ongoing lack of heat and ice cold baseboard pipes in my unit, in spite of the fact that temperatures right now are barely at 50 degrees and they were in the 30s overnight. There's no heat in the pipes right now, and that's why there's mice in this unit, because the mice run along the pipes from one unit to the next, and I'm constantly hearing mice rustling around underneath the pipes behind my refrigerator. Could you please send maintenance up to Unit 89 at this time? It is still 3:30 p.m. and there's still an hour and a half of business hours left. There's plenty of time for maintenance to come up here and check the pipes and see why there's no heat in the pipes, and also to investigate the rodent infestation that keeps happening in this unit because you guys are refusing to respond to ongoing written and verbal notifications from me about the fact that there's mice in this unit. There's also problems with the tap water. So please send maintenance up here this afternoon. I am in my unit. They can just knock on the door. I'm not denying entry to anybody. And I'm requesting that maintenance come up here and check the pipes and see why they are ice cold. There is absolutely no heat in the pipes. There has not been any heat in the pipes in days and days. Temperatures have been in the 30s at night and in the 40s during the day over the last several days. And I have screenshots of all of the temperatures for each day of this week for the weather in Boston. If you need to reach me, I can be reached at 617-459-0208. Again, I'm requesting right now that maintenance come up to my unit before 5 p.m. today. I know that's when you guys close, to check the baseboard pipes and to see why they're ice cold, in spite of the fact that it's basically in the 30s and 40s in Boston these days. Right now, it's about 49 to 50 degrees in Boston, depending on where you are. Thank you. Yeah, the pipes are ice cold, and they have been for days. So I keep saying this, but these are metal louvers, metal coverings, and the pipes underneath are ice cold. If there was even a small amount of warmth in these pipes, I wouldn't be able to basically glue my hand to the metal pipe covering. And this is why the mice, they like to get into, they run along these baseboard pipes from one unit to the next. And I can frequently hear them making noises behind this fridge. That's where they have been physically seen to run into. I have a video from December in which a mouse can be seen running across the back of the stove and across the sink and into the corner behind this fridge. That's where I hear them. So that must be where they come and go from. That's the bathroom of 78 behind that wall right there. And the mice seem to be running along these pipes right here. You can hear them. So no heat at all. And it's between 49 degrees and 51 degrees in Boston, just depending on where you are. I think it's right around 50 right now. Yeah, it's right around 50 degrees right now. No heat. So if it's 50 now, it's definitely going to get colder overnight. And once again, I'm going to have to turn the burners on my stove for warmth because there's no heat. No heat. My hand would be burning right now. If there was a little bit of heat even, it would be too warm to really leave my hand on for very long. What I really need to do is just get one of those thermometers that you can just aim at the air and it basically just grabs the temperature from wherever you happen to be standing in the room. Those seem to be pretty cool. I think those are the ones that Inspectional Services has on them when they come in here to do temperature readings. They just kind of aim it, at the ceiling or something, and you get a temperature reading of the air in that corner. Yeah, so it's 51 degrees right now, depending on where you are in Boston, but it feels like 47. So it's pretty chilly. And again, there's no heat in here. And it is what time right now? 3:46 p.m. on Friday, April 26th. So there we go. Greenviie has refused to turn the heat on in this unit. So now I'm going to have to send them another email, CC their attorneys, and bring it to housing court to dispute their claims that I owe them rent for a unit that is not up to code. I don't. There's a reason why there are code requirements for apartments and for buildings in the city of Boston and any other city, because landlords would then get away with not providing any heat and not providing any electricity and not providing any kind of functional living space. So the Greenviie group could possibly be sued for racketeering if they claim that the units that they are requesting subsidies for are up to code and they're not. Any unit in this building that the Greenviie group is receiving government funding for is required to be completely up to code. And if it's not, then the landlord is guilty of fraud, unfair and deceptive business practices, wire fraud if they're receiving the money over, electronic funds transfer, et cetera, et cetera. It's basically racketeering. And they're refusing to provide heat in this unit. That's racketeering, even though I pay rent out of pocket. I think that the entire building is somehow subsidized. I'm not receiving a subsidy, but the value for this unit is less than it would be because the entire building is subsidized. So if the entire building is subsidized, then the landlord is receiving a subsidy for my unit, regardless of whether I am receiving any kind of a subsidy from the government myself, which I'm not. But if they are receiving a subsidy for this unit and for all other units because the building itself is subsidized, then they're committing multiple federal crimes by failing to provide heat or any kind of a functional living space while collecting a subsidy for part of this unit, right? They're charging me full market value, but the full market value might be reduced due to the fact that the entire building is subsidized. I have to look into that.